Welcome to the ESI phone training for the ePhone3 and ePhone4X model phones for the ESI eSIP servers, presented by Preferred Data Voice Networks. Please reference the trifold handout Getting Started with the ePhone3 or ePhone4X, which can be found on our website at pdbn.net. You may also have received a customized instruction sheet for your company or agency on Preferred Data Voice Networks letterhead. The ePhone3 has 4 pages of 8 buttons, one of which is a page jump key. So it gives you a total of 4 times 7 or 28 buttons. The ePhone4X has 4 pages of 10 buttons, 5 on each side, one being a page jump key, so it's 4 pages of 9 buttons for a total of 36 programmable keys. When idle, your screen will show the date and time and your extension number on the top left. When on a call, it will show the incoming caller's caller ID and various states of call. At the bottom of the display, you may see an indication of missed calls or voicemail messages here, in which case you can press View, and the system will prompt you to call the voicemail or exit to clear that notification. So here I've gone to exit and I can see I have 1 voicemail and 1 missed call. To the left and right of the screen are the programmable feature keys that I mentioned. These keys can be programmed for a feature, extensions, and speed dial numbers. This is your page jump button, and if you press it, you can see what screen you're on here: 1, 2, 3, or 4. Initially, when you get your phone, you'll notice some pre-programmed buttons such as line keys. You might see park, pickup, page, or other feature buttons that are applicable to your application, to your system. These are called soft keys under the display, and they show different options depending on how you are using the phone at the time. The navigation keys here are used to move your cursor and select options within the display. The center button is the OK button, and it is used to select. The volume controls are located here under the dial pad and control the volume if you're on the handset volume, and you'll see your display. If you're on speaker, controls the speaker volume, and if your phone is idle, the ring volume. To dial out, simply start dialing the number. If it's local, you can dial the 7-digit number, or long distance, 1 in the area code. You'll notice it timed out after I dialed. So you could actually, let me demonstrate that again. Whoops. So this is more like a cell phone. It's a voice over IP phone, meaning that it doesn't start outpulsing digits to the public switch telephone network until you send dial or press dial or it times out. So when you're typing something, if you miss dial, you can press delete to go back. It beat me to it. Whoops. So I misdialed there. And then you'll notice that if you start dialing a number that's already been dialed from your phone, you can use your navigation keys to select and redial that number instead of re-entering the entire number. So now I'm on a call. I'm on speakerphone and my microphone is right here. If I pick up the handset, I can speak on handset. To go back to the speakerphone, I press the speakerphone button and place the handset in cradle. I can mute myself by pressing this microphone with the line through it icon or button here under the keypad, and then I'll receive a notification on my display that I'm muted to my caller. If I've muted myself on handset and I pick up if I've muted myself on speakerphone and I pick up the handset, I'm still muted. So I can press mute to unmute myself. And also, if I'm just on a handset call and someone comes into my office, I can mute myself to that caller while I'm speaking to someone in my office. So it's a great application for conference calls or sitting on hold or that type of thing. When your phone is ringing, you'll see an indication on your screen. I know it's a little bit bright on this video, but you can see the caller's incoming caller ID. And then across the bottom, answer, divert, or reject. Or also you can pick up the handset to answer. So if you press the answer button, you're speaking to the person. If you press hold, you can place them on hold. They hear hold music. You see a little pause indicator on your display, and you can press resume to return to that caller. Divert will send them, you can actually enter another extension number. It's kind of like a quick forward. And reject, if you press reject when your phone is ringing, your caller will be sent directly to voicemail. So I'm on a call, and here I'm receiving a second call. So when I'm receiving a second call on my display, I'll see sort of a split screen. So my first call's here, and this one wasn't outbound, so it shows the number I dialed. And then the second call here is showing the number that's coming in, the information about that, in which case I can also answer and reject here. So if I press answer, then I'm automatically placing my first caller on hold, and I'm talking to my second caller here. And if I return to my home screen, I can see the two lines for the two calls are lit. The call that's on hold is blinking in amber, and the call that I'm on is in solid red. So if I press hold, then I can press that line 1 button to return to the first caller and then resume. And I'm talking back to this first caller. So I can end that call, and then here it automatically brings up the second caller, in which case I can press resume, return to the second caller, and then answer or handle it in whatever way I need to handle it. So that's what it looks like when you're receiving a second call. Let's talk about button programming. So here on, and here's my screen that gives an indication of missed calls. So here on my phone, as I mentioned before, I've got these available buttons. If I press the page jump key, I can see available blank buttons that I can program for what I call people buttons. So to program a button on your phone, which the people button you're going to use to set for one touch call to intercom, one touch transfer, phone to see their phone status, and one touch pickup. So what we're going to do is choose the button that we want to program and press and hold the button. Okay, and then it automatically comes up with type memory key, so we're going to leave that as is and go to the next field, which is telephone, and I'm going to type in the extension number. Okay, and then I'm going to go down one more, and it says name, and I'm going to use my keypad here to type in the name. So it's going to be John, so I press 5 for J, and then 6 for O, but I press it 3 times to get to the kind of scroll to the O, and then 4 I press twice to scroll to the H, and then 6 again to scroll to the N. Okay, then I'm going to go down to the next field, which is line, and it can stay auto. And then this final, I'm sorry, it's not the final, the subtype field, I'm going to use my navigation keys to go over to BLF, BX for blind transfer. I go down one more to the pickup field, and I'm just going to put in a code so I'll be able to pick up calls that ring to that phone. So it's *04 and then the extension number. So here I'm putting *04 1001 because that was the extension number that I'm putting on this button. And then I'm going to press the soft key under save. My display tells me that it's saved. And then here I have a button for John. It's green right now because John is idle, or his phone is idle. Okay, and I'm back here at John's phone actually. So once John starts to make a call, here is the phone status changing to red, letting me know that he's on a call. Okay, when he hangs up on that call, his button turns green, and he can be available for me to call. If I want to call John, I press his button. Sorry. And it rings his extension. Okay, so then that's how to make an inter-office call. Really simple. Okay, now let's show a pickup. This takes a second to set up.
Thank you for calling Divert.
Okay, so his phone is ringing now, and it's blinking in red on my phone, the John button. So I can press that button to grab that call. It just does a quick pickup of the call. Okay, if I want to transfer a call, so let's go ahead and make a call out here. Obviously a transfer call can be inbound or outbound. Okay, so if I have a call for John, then and typically you're going to see this screen, your main screen, so that's why I push the shift, but you can push this shift or page jump key at any time while your phone is idle, or if you're on a call. It does not affect anything on your call. It just affects your view of the phone. So I have a call for John. I'm going to press his button. I hear a brief busy signal. It says transfer success. It times out to the hang up, or I can hang up, and then John can receive the call. So that's how to do a transfer. That's nothing to it. If he doesn't answer, it goes to his voicemail. So that's a quick and easy way to do a transfer. Now, if you have to transfer, or if you need to transfer a call to somebody that you don't have the button for, okay, then you're going to do, we're going to transfer to 1000, so you're going to do XFIR, dial the extension, okay, and you can wait for them to answer if you want to. So Susan just answered, and then you're going to press XFIR, sends a call to her, and you're out of the loop. So it does default to an attended transfer. If you need to do an attended transfer to somebody who has a button for blind transfer, I always set up the buttons for blind transfer because it's easier. But you can just call him first. So you put your caller on hold, press his button to see if he's available if you want to make the announcement, and then do the one-touch transfer using his button. So here I have a call that I'm talking to, and I have the scenario where I want to send it to an off-site number. So I want to transfer it, but not to an extension within my building, but to a number outside of my building. What I'm going to do is press XFIR, but I'm going to dial the number that I want to send it to, either the 7-digit local or 10-digit. Press dial. Okay. Wait for them to answer. They're answering. They're on the call. Okay, and then I'm going to say, this is a call for you, and they say yes, they want to take it. I press XFIR. I hear transfer success, and then the call is transferred to that outside number like a cell phone, and I'm completely off of the call, right? And then those callers are together. Okay. The second scenario would be a situation to where I am on a call with someone and I want to put somebody else, an outside person, not an extension, but an outside person. Well, actually you can do this with an extension too, but I want to join them into my call, like a three-way call, right? So I'm going to press, instead of XFIR, I'm going to press conference, dial the second number, wait for them to answer. That's always the key. Okay, so they answer, and then I press conference again, and then we're all three together. And you're hearing on hold music because it's me and me. So I'm one of my callers on hold. So there's the first call. There's the first call that came in. Here's the second call that I made out. We're all conferenced together. So at this point, we can continue on our three-way call, or I can put them on hold and return to them. Hold and resume, just like before, but it's a three-way call still. I can hang up by pressing end, or I can press split and return to one of the other or the other ones. So I press split, I return to the second caller, hang up on them, resume, I'm back with this first caller, and I hang up with them. So that's how to make a three-way call versus a transfer to an outside number. Do not disturb. Whoops. Let's go back to this main page. Maybe a button on your main screen. If it is, you can press it and you'll see an icon here on the screen that lights in bright red that says do not disturb. If your phone is in do not disturb or DND, then all of your calls will be sent immediately to your voicemail. So to activate it, it's a toggle. So to deactivate it, just press the button again to turn it off. Call park is a way to place a call in a holding state that can be answered by any other phone on the system. If you press hold, you can retrieve that call from your phone like we talked about by pressing resume under your display with the soft keys. But if you have a call for somebody else, Park is a great application also for yourself if you want to move your call to any other phone on the system, by the way, as an aside. But to park a call, you just press the park button. Your system will notify you of the park code. The typical park code is 6900. It might be 60 or some other number, but it starts at that and just goes up. So then you let your person know that you have a call parked for them. So you can do a page, which is on this phone right here. Press the button, do a one-way page to all the phones on the system. I typically recommend you pick up your handset. So Melissa, you have a call parked at 6900. Okay. Then Melissa can go to any phone and dial that code and then retrieve the parked call. If nobody retrieves the call that you've parked, then it will eventually recall back to you and your display will notify you that it's a call parked that's coming back to you. The last thing I want to mention before we get into voicemail is, well, a couple more things. When you're using your phone, if you would like to forward your phone to another extension, then you're going to press the menu, okay, and then you go down to Features, and it's the very first one, Call Forward. So you use your OK button to select. You can select the first SIP1, just means your line 1 or your main line. Okay, and then your options are unconditional, busy, or no answer. Unconditional is the immediate call forward. Busy, don't use too much. No answer would be like if your phone rings after so many rings, you want to forward it to another extension or offsite number. So if you want to select unconditional, you just say OK here, and then you'll notice it comes up with disabled. Use your navigation to go to enabled, and then it's going to bring up any other number that you forwarded to previously. So from here you can delete and cover up that number. So this is my office number. You can leave it as is, press save, and you're forwarded, or you can delete it and make it another extension on your phone system. So call forwarding can be an extension or an offsite number. So I'm going to leave it as the offsite number and press save. And then I just pick up and hang up if I don't want to push back a bunch of times. Go back to my main menu, and then you'll notice an icon here that indicates that the number is forwarded. Okay, so then if anybody dials my direct number or my extension from the main number or is transferred to my phone, they immediately get sent to that offsite number, right? So then across the screen here it's telling me your phone is forwarded. And then if you press view here, you can see how many calls have been forwarded off and when, the date, and who was calling. So it does let you know what calls were forwarded. To disable call forwarding or just turn it back off, menu, features, call forward 1, select the unconditional if you selected that, or no answer if you selected that. Use your right navigation toggle to go to disabled, save, and your phone is no longer call forwarded. The little icon's gone. The ringtone. So the phones have a few little MIDI tones in here if you want to change, maybe have a distinctive ring if you're in close quarters or want to have a different sound from your neighbor. You can hear under the very first thing under menu is, the third one is settings, and you can just do basic and then go down to number 3, ring, and then ring type. So then I'm just going to use my navigation, and it actually plays them. So I like that one. Press save, and that's how to change your ringtone. Super easy. Okay, finally, setting up your voicemail. So your phone has a voicemail button here, or actually the voicemail is just *2. So it's a speed dial. It's just dial *2 on the system.
Please enter your password.
And it says enter your password. Initially, your password is just going to be the same thing as your extension number.
You have one new
Okay,
message.
your system might have a tutorial so that you can be prompted to record your name and set up a new password. If you don't have a tutorial, it's super easy to do, and the best thing that I can recommend is to reference the voicemail quick reference guide. It's a one-pager and it gives all the different menu options. So, but if you just want to set up your voicemail, press voicemail, and then the main thing is just entering your greeting. So I'm going to press 0 for mailbox options, 1 for greeting, 1 for unavailable greeting, and then I'm going to say my unavailable greeting and press pound when I'm done. Then once I've done that, basically my voicemail is set up. There's more instructions to change your password, or you can just listen to the options in the zero message, and then zero menu. And then when you have voicemail messages, you'll notice that this light will come on and it tells you how many messages you have on the screen here, and if you press view, it'll just call the voicemail. Same thing as pressing your envelope. Put your password, tells you how many new messages you have. Press 1 to listen to your messages. And then after the messages are played, you can hear the options of what to do with them, but the most important thing is number 7 is delete. So that's how to clear off your messages there. And so I don't have any new messages, so that icon went away. And by the way, if you have missed calls here, if you press the soft key under history, you can see the missed calls that came to your phone, and then exit, and then your icon goes away that told you had missed calls. If your system is set up for it, you may have voicemail to email, which is when you get voicemail, it comes to your email in a little WAV file. So that's something that has to be set up by your system administrator, and we need rights to set up, but it is available in the system. Thank you so much for listening to the eSIP, ePhone3, and ePhone4X tutorial. I hope it helped you out, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.